All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is between 15 Sway and Johnny Cage, taking place here on Twisted Meadows 1.1. 15 Sway spotting as, well, that blue night elf on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Johnny Cage spotting as the pink human over here on the bottom right. Gonna go ahead and speed things up. And, well, once again, we're looking at the human versus undead matchup post-patch and what changes and balances were made to try and equalize these two races. Work, human. Work. I can't even do that well. And work. All right. See, if I click on them, and they don't even say anything anymore. Anyway, maybe I gotta be in-game. First things first. No, why did I say undead? Oh my gosh, I am losing it today. It is Night Elf versus Human. Don't know why my mind blanked for a second saying undead. But hey, live recording, you know I am not trying to, well, not trying to cheat you. This is my first time watching this game and making predictions, as the Warden is going to be the first hero in this matchup. What's up, big dog? Things are going pretty well. Forest Troll Shadow Priest stolen by Johnny Cage here. That's going to be important. The Warden could have tried to chase after it, land a Shadow Strike, and that Shadow Strike does deal quite a bit of damage against that Forest Troll Shadow Priest that only has 240 hit points. With that there, well, that Forest Troll Shadow Priest is going to end up getting focused down very quickly. We are looking back around here. Archmage going to try and pick up a Ring of Protection +4. That is not the item that he was looking for. It does give him a little bit more armor, but then again, when your Archmage is taking damage during the early stages of the game, well, you're generally in a bad spot to begin with. All right, get a little bit of fireball tracing damage onto that wisp there. Peasants are going to perhaps try and set up an expansion here in just a moment, as we look at footmen now making their way out across the map. Archmage does sit at level 2. That is going to be important. Level 2 Archmage does have that brilliance aura, and he will have to be brilliant in order to deal with that Warden now coming in from the north. Warden going to try to dive on into this position here, perhaps land a Shadow Strike or something of that nature. Forest Troll Shadow Priest already looking to retreat back, and you can see, well, that it knows that its life is timed. There goes a Shadow Strike. It's going to try and reposition, and there's a beautiful micro move by the Forest Troll, by that Peasant. Peasant is now in position here, and we're going to be looking at just rotating the crops, so to speak, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest is going to survive. A beautiful micro by Johnny Cage to ensure that this early Forest Troll Shadow Priest sticks around. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. As the Forest Troll Shadow Priest is looking to back away, we are getting up a scout tower here, as the Warden could perhaps try to land a few more Shadow Strikes. Archmage is looking to perhaps pick up Dust of Appearance, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest is just off on the side now. Archmage has picked up Dust of Appearance and Boots of Speed, now making their way off to the north. Meanwhile, down south here, well, a Warden still wandering around looking for where that Archmage could potentially be. Archmage, however, knows that it needs to do a lot of work to try and shut down the Ancient of War, Archer, and Forest Troll Shadow Priest creeping away from that Warden. That is incredibly important there. That Warden was able to do a bit of creeping or get a little bit of experience while away from all of the action. All right, 2.5 for that Warden. And meanwhile, level 2 for that Archmage. As the units are retreating back, Tree of Life is nearly done. It will go ahead and uproot, make its way off to the north side here, and try and establish and neutralize that economic advantage. As we're looking at this 5-3-1 creep camp getting cleared up here on Twisted Meadows. Johnny Cage sounds familiar. All right, coming back through. Boots of Speed, Dust of Appearance, that Ring of Protection +4 does help a little bit, but some players had asked me, like, why, like, rings of protection are often good. Why are good in some instances, but on those range intellect-based heroes, you don't really want damage to be stuck on that Archmage or any of those other units at all. On top of that, mainly your backline intelligent-based heroes are going to be the focus of a lot of spells. Spells and, well, armor obviously does not protect you from those spells. Otherwise, having 10 armor would greatly reduce the amount of damage, say, Death Coil and Frost Nova would deal. Archmage taking a quick look around, trying to figure out what exactly he can find. As off to the north, we are looking at the Warden looking to get to level 3, clearing out this Ogre Warrior creep camp. JohnnyCage having perhaps suspicions of what 15 Sway is doing, and this is looking like a good matchup now. Just good map awareness by JohnnyCage to try and shake down this Forest Troll Shadow Priest. However, getting in 2 quick Abolish Magics there, and a level 2 Shadow Strike onto the Archmage, forcing that Archmage to retreat back home. Prepare yourselves for a super crazy game, considering the Warden is the hero today. Yep. Well, considering that the Warden is the hero today, and on top of that, we are looking at what appears to be a solo Warden so far. We are at Tree of Ages. We don't see a second hero, so that Warden is even getting bonus experience right now. 15% more experience than normally would have been expected. On a large map such as this, if you are able to get on a large map such like this, it is perhaps very easy for the Warden to get higher up in level. Going to get that final strike off there. Footman perhaps going to end up getting aggroed, and now, well, that one Footman trying to absorb a little bit of damage. Are we going to see a Shadow Strike for the final shot? No, it gets denied by the creeps. Back off to the north here, Archmage just sitting at level 3. Triple Circlets of Nobility, +6 to every single stat. 150 additional hit points, as that Archmage looking strong and dealing quite a bit of damage as well. Ancient of Wind quickly going to get canceled once more. Well, PJ Num Num Num, good to see you too. As we're looking at the Entangled Gold Mine, suffering quite a bit of damage. All right, we're looking now at a Staff of Teleportation inbound. Shadow Strike right there. You can see the Shadow Strike not affecting that Archmage nearly as much, as it has those Circlets of Nobility over over that ring of protection. Archmage should be able to outrun that Warden there, as it does have Boots of Speed, but, well, nope. Warden also has Boots of Speed, and with the Shadow Strike, that effect does slow things down a bit. Archmage is back down to the south side here, perhaps going to use a Scroll of Regeneration. A bunch of low hit point Footmen simply waiting for it, or waiting for the Alchemist's Healing Spray. Not quite sure what is going on here. Drop a Circlet of Nobility and use those. Use the Potion of Healing and that Scroll of Regeneration, and here you are ready to go. Well, could have waited for one Footman here, as that Footman is a bit low on hit points. Wonder what's the win rate for Night Elf if the Warden gets to level 6. See, that's one of the things that you got to be careful about when you're looking at stats in a game. What is the win rate of a Night Elf player who gets to level 6? That almost implies that the Night Elf player wins once he has the level 6 Warden. And it's often in those situations where you'll find, if you watch the replays, because he was winning, a Night Elf player was winning, he got to a level 6 Warden. We're looking for how strong a unit is able, or a unit or a hero is able to produce winning results from potential losing results. You never want to pick a unit that will help you, unless you have the lead, to help you win more. All right, winning by more is important, but it isn't as crucial as a unit or a hero or a card, for example, if you're playing card games, and how it can help you go from a 48% chance win to 52% chance win. Right? It's that inflection point. It's being able to turn over good results. Oftentimes, I'm going to use Magic as an example. Players often choose, or new players often choose cards that they're like, oh, once I play this card, I win. Well, that may be true, but you had like a 60% win rate, even if you didn't have to play that card. It just helped you win more, as opposed to the card not being useful in your hand later on. So same example there, Archmage or the Warden getting to level 6. Oftentimes, if it was different for the Demon Hunter getting to level 6, or the Keeper of the Grove getting to level 6, or the Priestess of the Moon getting to level 6. Remember the game between Agatha and Lalayette? There was a Warden in that game, and she was a one-woman wrecking crew. Yeah. And then, well, back down across here, we're looking at Arcane Tower. Warden now trying to finish off some of these peasants here. Arcane Tower, well, not able to really feed back there, as a big Phantom Knives coming across the Warden. Warden really wants to get to level 6, hence retrain into Phantom Knives, and now going after the economy of the human. JohnnyCage is not going to be able to really pump out nearly as many air units as he wants. But interestingly enough, going for air units is a way to kind of meta counter this warden, as the warden will not have many corpses to try and work with. There goes, well, a goblin shredder getting taken down there. Warden's now sitting at about 5 and 40% way to level 5, on its way to level 6, as the panda now looking for easy ways to get experience. Interesting call by the panda. Once the warden got to once the warden was out in play, got to level 5, still wanted to open up creeping and was able to get that panda there, which will have Breath of Fire. Back down to the south side here, more peasants are getting taken down. Goblin Zeppelin now getting hired up to, well, prevent much of the problems here. Arcane Tower, are we going to see a little bit of damage getting added in? Arcane Tower trying to move on through. There's an water elemental, and, well, that staff of teleportation inbound, looking perhaps like a scroll of town portal, forcing that warden to try and exit. All right, a lot of crazy action going back and forth this game. A scout farm being placed down at one of the expansion locations, as a hippogriff is also here as well. Interesting, we're going to be looking at Dragonhawk Riders and hippogriffs, with a blood mage as the third and final hero from JohnnyCage. Slippers of Agility, I hardly knew thee, as the archmage, with with 2 item spots available, opted not to pick them up. Meanwhile, blood mage could take quite a bit of damage here. Orb of venom damage over time. Alchemist is nearby here, and we're looking at the Dragonhawk Riders here as well. Alchemist, are we going to see perhaps a fan of knives? Yes, we do. There's a fan of knives across those Dragonhawk Riders. Alchemist is here to try and get that healing spray going. Panda could have a bit of problems. Are we perhaps going to be looking at, well, Druids of the Talon with that piercing damage, and in comes the warden with fan of knives. Scroll of healing quickly being used, coupled with the healing spray as well. The Druids of the Talon actually with that piercing damage being useful in air-to-air combat. Both sides are trying to fight their way through. Dragonhawk Riders trying to shut down the Druids of the Talon, as the Druids of the Talon are able to poke back across as well. All right, Berserker getting taken down by creeps. We're looking at the Ogre Maulers. There's another Breath of Fire as well, as it looks as JohnnyCage will be able to stick around in this fight long enough to finish it off, get the remaining bit of experience. But I believe, well, is it an Amulet of Spell Shield? If that's an Amulet of Spell Shield, I can't quite click underneath it. Yes, Amulet of Spell Shield on the Blood Mage, that could protect from some very, very nasty damage. Tome of Strength also left behind here, so it looks like JohnnyCage playing like the semi-pro he is, leaving behind things. Oh, yep, thank you for the sub, as we're looking at Dragonhawk Riders cleaning up this Rock Golem creep camp. Alchemist is sitting at level 3, has plenty of mana. Well, WarCraft 3 community, well, I appreciate the WarCraft 3 community, otherwise I wouldn't have an audience at all. Then again, I might have a lot more free time, but, well, enjoy your hobbies. Thank you, everyone. Coming back around, Ogre Magi, Ogre Warrior Creep Camp. This is going to be the last creep camp really available on the map. What he means is not that pros are taking pumps and Johnny isn't. It's quite the opposite. Yeah. Yeah, new players often wonder, like, hey, how come pros leave behind tomes? It's because it's... Well, let's get into this game anyways. Force Troll Shadow Priest quickly getting shut down. Druids of the Talon with that piercing damage, actually quite strong, able to shut things down onto some of these air units. Dragonhawk Riders now looking to retreat, as Druids of the Talon, that 28 to 40 piercing damage with decent range and attack speed could cause quite a bit of problems. Meanwhile, coming back through, Druids of the Talon just holding that exact range. Yeah, so if I have to give an analogy, it would be like, new players, they're learning to juggle. They're juggling 3 balls, and they're like, yeah, look how well I can juggle these 3 balls. Well, professional players are often juggling 7 to 9 balls at the same time, and if they drop a ball, a new player would be like, hey, I don't drop a ball when I juggle. Well, you're juggling 3, not 9. There's just not as much you need that you're unaware of that professional players are focusing their efforts on as well. Anyways, coming back around, Brewmaster going to be coming in here, perhaps a Breath of Fire across all of these tightly grouped Dragonhawk Riders. No Breath of Fire. Alchemist dives in and now needs to retreat on back. Does have a decent amount of mana and getting some slow poison damage as well. These Druids of the Talon now making their way over, and the question is going to be not if the Warden is going to get to level 6, but when. If the Warden doesn't get to level 6, well, that would mean that he's not killing any of the human units, and well, that would be a great setback. Quick look around the map right now. Around the horn, we are looking at trees of life being placed down all across the map as a battle is about to start here inside the human base. JohnnyCage purposely, or now using his Royal Town Portal to try and go inbound. Here we are, the Dragonhawk Riders, able to get off one round of attack. Staff of Preservation saving that one Dryad there. Meanwhile, more units still trying to retreat back. Do we have, well, that is Vampiric Aura and Devotion Aura across the board as we're looking at a couple of Shackles now go down. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire perhaps, and Fan of Knives could all come across here. We're looking at a lot of damage. There's another Breath of Fire, and so far those Dragonhawk Riders seem to be holding their own ever so barely. The Druids of the Talon are starting to poke apart one at a time as the Dragonhawk Riders finish off the Druids of the Talon. Now perhaps going to go after those Dryads instead. Level 4 now on the Panda though, as that Panda is currently out of mana because of that Blood Mage. Alchemist continuing to throw acid bombs out across the map as well as big healing coming aboard. JohnnyCage is sitting at 76 or 73 over 84 as the Warden is now at level 6 but completely out of mana because of that Blood Mage. Alchemist continuing to heal pretty much non-stop throughout this battle, and it looks like it is working well as unit after unit is falling. All right, more damage getting racked up. Brewmaster does have a potion of mana, could turn around, try and Breath of Fire, but wouldn't do very much of anything as the Alchemist has been keeping all of these Dragonhawk Riders fairly topped off. That, well, level 6 on that Warden, but there's not going to be many corpses out on the battlefield. Any corpse is going to be from the Dryad, and well, if your Slippers of Agility was, well, going to go ahead and be picked up there. Did the Dryad have that? Yeah, the Dryad had it, had the Slippers of Agility. As we're now looking at an Ancient Protector about to get taken down. All right, inbound on that Scroll of Town Portal. Dryads, Panda is across here. Fan of Knives, perhaps. Yes, going to go across all of these units. Breath of Fire going down as well. The Scroll of Healing quickly being used as the Warden is trying to, well, focus down all of these units here. One Ancient Protector continuing to help. There's another Scroll of Healing being used as well as the Alchemist is trying to keep all of these units alive and well and healed up. One Dragonhawk Rider, two Dragonhawk Riders getting taken down. Warden going to go ahead and get Staff of Preservation back home as the Fairy Dragons are joining in on the battle too. Fairy Dragons with Phase Shift, well, not going to be enough to save them as the Druids of the Talon still launching those attacks and really starting to poke apart all of these Dragonhawk Riders. Druid of the Talons taking to the skies and really owning them. I love this change to piercing damage as magic damage on an air unit that cannot attack ground was absolutely useless. JohnnyCage retreating back, full 2/2 upgrades. Alchemist going to go ahead and heal back up. He, unfortunately, is only sitting at level 4 still for JohnnyCage, as it's going to take a little bit more mana to heal up that last remaining bit of hit points. All right, Spirit of Vengeance going to go ahead and hang back. We see another expansion down on the bottom right-hand side of the map as both sides are running currently off of 3 bases with the main gold mines about to run out of gold. About 3 minutes left for the human player. Meanwhile, a minute and a half left for the Night Elf 15 Sway. Are we looking at additional upgrades? We are at Castle. I don't see Blacksmith. No, Blacksmith is getting those 3/3 upgrades now. So with those 3/3 upgrades, may be able to get in, well, will be able to get in more damage. But is it enough to tip the scales? Druids of the Claw are also making their way out onto the battlefield with Rejuvenation. They're going to be able to heal up some of those units and then perhaps go back into that Druid of the Claw form and act as a tanky unit on the ground. There is not many units on the ground at all, only water elementals. Everything else is a hero as the Alchemist does in fact get up to level 5. level 3 healing spray right at the start of the battle is going to be key. There is a blink, fan of knives, siphon mana, anti-magic shell straight off the bat. Here we go. Panda going to try to come in with the breath of fire as we see scroll of protection being used. The dryads quickly removing much of that scroll of protection, but if they're casting abolish magic, they're not attacking. All right, healing spray continuing to heal as the alchemist is now getting a little bit out of range of all of that healing spray. There goes another breath of fire, 70 supply compared to 66, and we're looking at a bunch of low hit point Dragonhawk Riders. Are they going to get taken down? Healing spray still keeping things alive. Staff of preservation for the save on a bear, I believe, as the Dragonhawk Riders are still trying to own this guy's here. New Dragonhawk Riders trying to make their way over. Warden trying to stick around here. Banish onto a low hit point Dragonhawk Rider, trying to take him out of combat. And you can see that level 3 healing spray just keeping the units constantly topped off here. 76 supply compared to 96. Dragonhawk Rider trying to chase down. Fairy Dragons are in position, and here we go. There's a big breath of fire across the board. Are we going to see more damage coming across here? No more mana on the Warden or the Panda as they're finding their way through. Level 5 now on the Panda here. Is he going to be able to get enough mana? If he gets a level 3 Breath of Fire off, it could change things over as it could blow everything down now. All right, Panda needs a little bit more mana to get that Breath of Fire off, and that little bit of clumped AoE damage may be enough. All right, more damage coming across through. There's that Breath of Fire hitting across multiple units. Is going to hit the tipping point. Yes, a couple more Dragonhawk Riders were taken down. 67 supply compared to 62. Reinforcements are showing up as the Alchemist is starting to run low on mana. Staff of Teleportation inbound. Warden, Fan of Knives, able to get off a big damage onto all of those Dragonhawk Riders again. Warden currently hitting amongst everything there. Going to try and get off another Fan of Knives there. There gets another one off. Another Dragonhawk Rider taken down as the Dryads are still pushing through. Avatar of Vengeance has perhaps enough corpses to try and do something as we're looking at another Dragonhawk Rider falling. This is a prolonged air battle. Warden continuing to attack all these air units here. Perhaps going to try and take down another Dragonhawk Rider. Healing spray is still going strong as the Panda still needs a little bit more mana. Siphon mana onto the Warden. Warden currently out of mana. Blood Mage could try and siphon mana from the Brewmaster. Brewmaster has about 60 mana, needs 15 more. Archmage could be in trouble. Archmage down to 92 hit points. Drops a Water Elemental in time, and now going after more and more of those air units as the healing spray also hitting the Archmage. This is a long, drawn-out battle, 64 to 65. Both sides fighting their way through, and it looks like Dryad after Dryad. Are we going to see some Dragonhawk Riders abandoned? No, we are not. And somehow 15 Sway holding on in that battle beautifully, and even though there were constant reinforcements coming in from both sides, the AoE damage, and now the Alchemist, well, with the help of the Archmage, should be able to stay on the top of his mana. That was an absolutely long, drawn out, unending battle as Spirit of Vengeance now making their way over here to the bottom right. All right, the big problem right now for JohnnyCage is going to be the AoE damage straight out of the gates between the Warden and that Panda. With level 3 Fan of Knives and a level 3 Breath of Fire now, the Alchemist may not be able to keep enough healing spray going to keep all of the units alive, but he will definitely try. We are looking at a new Town Hall being placed down. It is currently two bases to 2, with JohnnyCage setting up a third. Healing spray now coming down across here, and now we are going to go into an engagement. There is some damage. There was a Fan of Knives. There was a Breath of Fire, and here we go. Both sides engaging. There is Siphon mana. Panda could perhaps try to get another Breath of Fire off. Griffins are engaging. Dryads are in the back there as both sides are still fighting off their way through. There's another Fan of Knives. Are we going to see, yes, death of a hero there as we now see level 6 on the Archmage, who has mass teleport. Going to go and try and teleport around. Both sides fighting their way through. Both sides engaging here. Arcane Tower trying its best. Guard Tower trying its best here as the Blood Mage is still fighting in the back position as well. Who's coming out on top? 66 supply compared to 76. 15 Sway holding on barely. There is a roar. There's a transformation as we are looking at the Brewmaster, seeing that level 5 does not have rejuvenation, but does have a potion of invulnerability, does need a potion of mana as well, as the units are going to try and retreat back. Brewmaster down to 84 hit points, down to 10. Is he going to get taken down? Yes, he does. Panda falls at level 5 on the cusp of level 6. The remaining units now retreating back. Spirit of Vengeance is trying to poke the Dragonhawk Riders as they are doing a flyby, but they do not look like they're going to fall anytime soon. Resurrection at the Tavern. highly likely. Meanwhile, expansion on the bottom left or at the starting location, 8 o'clock starting location, should get cleared up momentarily. This change was pre-reforged, a good one too. Which, all right, big fan of knives right there, trying to finish off all of the peasants, trying to neutralize the economic advantage. However, his own base at the opposite end of the map, the 2 o'clock starting location, now getting cleaned up as well. All right, who's going to be able to finish off the base the fastest? A lot of piercing and heroic damage to go around, as this is going to go, well, teleport across here. Tree of Eternity quickly found, spotted, and destroyed. Mass teleport. Archmage able to be everywhere he wants to be. Archmage, or well, Warden here doesn't have a Scroll of Town Portal. Will it be able to get back home in time, as all of the Wisp are retreating back? Panda, well, was more than halfway resurrected before the army is now showing up here. The Griffins, the Dragonhawk Rider, is going to shut it down. And with that, we may need to see a resurrection at the tavern, but 15 Sway will not have Moonwells to get that Panda going. All right, little bit more damage over time. 1 or 2 more shots. That Dragonhawk Rider does get taken down, but the Brewmaster was still too far away to get the experience. Druids of the Claw have shown up. There's a couple of rejuvenations going across here. Moonwells, very well, 1 Moonwell available there. No rejuvenation on the Brewmaster still, but the Blood Mage is going to make short work. 15 Sway has a slightly large, or well, similar armies across the board, and here we go. Panda going to try and engage. Dryad's going to try and fight back, but without the Panda's mana, how much damage can he really deal? All right, pushing back through. We are looking at the Goblin Alchemist getting up to level 6, which means that we have access to Transmute as well. And all you got to say, once you get a level 6 Alchemist, is cha-ching. Every 45 seconds, your unit becomes my gold, and that is going to be the game there. So for all of you guys, well, keeping track, a Warden got to level 6, but still was not enough, as the Goblin Alchemist got to level 6 as well. If multiple level 6 secondary heroes, we saw a lot of people had trained their ultimate abilities, but no Earth, Storm, and Fire. Yeah, Alchemist getting up to level 6 on a game like this, on a macro map like this, plenty of targets for the Alchemist to constantly use that Transmute on, and then buy a potion of mana when the time comes. The fact that the Archmage has level 2 Brilliance Aura means that the Alchemist is pretty much going to have endless mana to try and, well, cash in, or I guess gold in. Cash in? Yeah, cash in just sounds better. You know what I mean. Cash in on that Alchemist ultimate ability. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Here's the final scores. And if you got to this part of the video, you gotta definitely like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I mean, you've watched through a, what, 28-minute video? 27-minute video? All right, until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.